Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just spoke about half an hour ago, saying that this war was forced upon Israel by a horrendous enemy, and he vowed that Israel would win.
His comments come as Israel's military said it has retaken control of all communities around Gaza more than 48 hours after Hamas launched a surprise assault. At least 900 people have been killed in these attacks.
Animals that kill women, children, and old people. The horrors that Hamas has done, we have not seen for many years. Children handcuffed that were executed with the rest of their families. Young people were shot in the back, executed, and other horrors that I will not describe here.
Israel has ordered Chevron to shut down production at a major natural gas field, which supplies 70% of Israel's energy consumption. Israel has declared a state of war, and this opened up massive military response. The Prime Minister said Palestinian groups would have to pay a heavy price, which could include casualties.
Israel gained control of Gaza and the West Bank, also known as the Palestinian territories, in 1967. Hamas took control of Gaza after it won elections in 2006. Israel has maintained a land, air, and sea blockade on Gaza since 2007. That has prevented Palestinian civilians from leaving. Israel says the blockade, which gives it control of Gaza's border and is also enforced by Egypt, is necessary to protect Israeli citizens from Hamas.
The Gaza Strip is on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean, bordering Israel and Egypt. It's only about 140 square miles with a population of some 2 million people. By comparison, Hamilton County, you see there on the right, is about 576 square miles, but far less populated with about 370,000 people.
The Hamas militant group formed in 1987 at the beginning of the first Palestinian uprising. The group wants to destroy Israel and replace it with an Islamic state. Hamas as a whole, or in some cases its military wing, is designated a terrorist group by Israel and the United States. Hamas is backed by Iran, which funds it and provides weapons and training.
Our team has been working to learn more about the local impacts of the war.
Well, the fallout of the conflict between the Palestinians' militant group Hamas and Israel has grown beyond the battlefield, impacting the Jewish community right here in Chattanooga.
Riley Nagel spoke with a rabbi to see how others can help.
The world was shocked Saturday morning when these images of a surprise attack on Israel spread across all forms of media. Rabbi Shaul Perlstein tells me his community is devastated, but they already feel the love and support from those in Chattanooga.
And of course, it hits home because these are, Jewish people, our brothers and sisters that are there in Israel.
Shaul Perlstein is the rabbi and director of the Shabbat of Chattanooga. He says when the attack happened the morning of October 7th, his synagogue had just started celebrating one of their most joyous holidays, Sukkot, which does not allow for the use of electronic devices.
So we only heard from people who were coming to visit about what was going on, and of course you can't, even when you see it, imagine it.
Perlstein says they were concerned but not fully aware of the situation. It wasn't until one of their members informed the rabbi his best friend, who was in Israel, had been killed.
And so obviously we understood. I gave him a hug. I think people saw that and realized, something was going on, and he left. And so at that point, it started really hitting me that this is hitting home.
The celebration had been turned upside down as those in the synagogue learned more and more of the severity of the conflict. Perlstein says one of his members is a high school girl who has been studying abroad in Israel.
They had a break, and she was here on break, and her flight to go back was yesterday morning.
Her flight had been canceled.
And she told me that Israel's our homeland. This is where we belong. She's not transferring anywhere. She's going back as soon as she can.
The rabbi says her passion to be in Israel has brought some hope back to their synagogue. He asks fellow Jewish people and anyone in the community to reach out to those who have been affected to send them love and support.
This is something that I think will strengthen the Jewish community to come together and realize that, our good deeds here have an effect over there, and that's what we're going to be pushing and striving for.
Reporting in Studio B, I'm Riley Nagel, Local 3 News.